Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy DaVon back in the flesh for another legendary video. Appreciate you guys coming for no Fugazee Wrestling Podcast. It's the dawn of a new era for season one, where it's going to an in-depth review for AEW's WrestleDream. Everything was on all cylinders when it came to professional land of professional wrestling. Things shaped up as we had some controversy when it came to things that had unfolded in tonight's evening podcast. Things really broke down in the showcase. Was it officially the final countdown? It really hit home when it came to things that broke down at the end of WrestleDream. But let's go ahead and get into everything that pretty much got underway when it came to WrestleDream. The show was it was decent. AEW always does a phenomenal job when it comes to their overall productivity, when it comes to how they do the storylines. It's always A1 when it comes to the wrestling. And we also had some great returns when it came to the product of no other than WrestleDream. But we kicked everything off when it came to the 0 hour. We had a couple of matches on the card to get things underway to the swing of things with AEW. We started off red hot when it came to Atlantis Jr., their Ring of Honor television champion. He was in a match against no other than the big man, Brian Cage, which is kind of like speed versus power. But in overall, it was a decent one when it came to seeing the overall match. I enjoyed everything about this match. It kept me invested. More importantly, Brian Cage was able to pick up the victory by picking up his first championship. And it was a long time coming of becoming the Ring of Honor television champion. So we shall see how they pick the cards up and push the rocket on when it comes to Brian Cage. Atlantis did a phenomenal job as being a Ring of Honor champion, but he did everything that he possibly could to keep us involved and, more importantly, keep us invested when it came to the overall performance of everything that he had. But he was stopped and he ran to a brick wall when it came to the big man, Brian Cage. But in overall, Brian Cage was able to hit that drill claw to end the actual match and pick up the pinfall to become the new television champion. And overall, the match was decent, and I'll give it maybe a 3.8 out of 5 stars. And overall, the fans were invested, and it was a great match to start off when it came to 0 hour. The second final match, we had Anna Jay. She was in singles action for the women's division, taking on Harley Cameron, which was pretty decent. It was okay. It was mid at best, but more importantly, it still kept me highly invested to see what they can do when it comes to Anna Jay getting some kind of loving. More importantly, Harley Cameron is getting into her own, kind of like developing into our own eyes of seeing her, finding her niche. More importantly, things were looking live when it came to these ladies. These ladies did everything they possibly can. Anna Jay pretty much controlled majority of the match and pretty much showed her leadership skills of pretty much controlling everything through the course of the match. Of course, Anna Jay was able to pick up the pinfall with the gory face buster and secure the victory in another winning streak as Anna Jay continued to steamroll as she's been racking up wins on the Ring of Honor side of things. But now seeing her back on AEW is kind of looking good when it comes to the overall with Anna Jay. Then we get to the next following match of the 0 hour. We had Eminem Collection, which is Mansoor and Manson Madden. They were in tag team action, taking on the Acclaim of Anthony Bowens and no other than Max Caster. Of course, they had Billy Gunn, of course, as their ballet, and M&M ended up having Rico, a former legend when it comes to the World Wrestling Entertainment, of course, being aligned with Billy and Chuck back in the days. This match was great entertainment. It was a great gimmick match. It kept me invested. More importantly, I laughed my ass off 100% through the course of this match. This match was all over the place, but more importantly, it got the job done to keep the fans entertained when it came to the crowd over there in Seattle, close to Seattle. The match had a great technical wrestling, a lot of back and forth, high spots. Eminem was doing their thing, and of course, playing their role very, very well. More importantly, the Acclaim did their thing of keeping us invested through the course of the tag team match. The Acclaim was able to pick up the pinfall with the mic drop after Max Caster was able to get the pinfall on Mansoor. More importantly, Billy Gunn was able to get that advantage of their things broke down. He was able to hit the Famouser on Rico as well in the match. And it was a nice little high spot, but more importantly, it kept me entertained for the most course of that tag team match. Then we got ready for the next 0 hour match. It was, of course, Beaver Boys with Alex Reynolds and John Silvers, along with the premier athletes of Ari Davari and Tony Nese, taking on the Outrunners, which was Truth Magnum, more importantly, Turbo Floyd, and a Mary, which was Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy. This 8-man mashup was okay for the West. I'm not really a big fan when it comes to the overall of big matches like that, but it got the job done. It pretty much keep the pace of the show of the 0 hour, close things out with a big finish. It was a lot of back and forth, and they kept us highly entertained 100%. It was nothing left unturned when it came to the overall of this actual big 8-man tag. The Outrunners and the Conglomeration was able to get the pinfall, as the Outrunners was able to hit their actual tag team finisher on Ari Davari and secure the victory for the 1, 2, 3. Then we get things ready for the big pay-per-view as we switch things over into the show, getting straight to the point of the nitty-gritty of things. Things started to get real red hot as we started getting to the actual show. The first match to kick things off was Hangman Adam Page taking on Jay White. What more can I say about these two, man? They put on a clinic. They did everything that was correct. We got everything that was on par when it came to just the overall telling and the ring styling. They have great chemistry. More importantly, they put on a great clinic through the course of this actual match. It was a lot of back and forth transitional moves. Of course, we had things fair straight down the middle. Things broke down though, but Jay White took advantage of Hangman's knee and was able to secure the victory by hitting that lovely switchblade with a counter after things broke down as Hangman was trying to go for the buckshot, and he got countered with the kill switch, not the kill switch, the switchblade, and secured the victory with a decent one. But then overall, this match was a 4 out of 5 stars. I highly enjoyed every single moment of this match to get things underway for the actual main cards when it came to WrestleDream. More importantly, big ups when it came to Jay White being a face now, alongside with the Bang Bang Gang. And I could see things going a long way in overall storytelling of seeing where they may push things, the envelope, and try to go for that Continental Championship. And things may pick up, but we shall see how things continue to flourish. But when it comes to Adam Page, he took a big L tonight. He was looking pissed off, but I don't think this feud is going to cool off just right away. But more importantly, things may be looking really good when it comes to Adam Page. He's looking in the prime spot. He's going to get the momentum back and get the win as they get ready for the second round of them going back and forth, as this match is going to be revisited again for a rematch. And I know these boys are going to put on a clinic and overall. But my overall opinion of how I feel about Jay White is nothing on turn that you can truly ask for. Jay White has been patient. He's been doing his thing. More importantly, he continues to keep me invested 100% of how things have been turning out since he's have returned. And more importantly, he's put on great wrestling. When it comes to Hangman Adam Page, after he took out Swerve Strickland, was able to secure the victory in a steel cage match and a heinous match. But more importantly, it got the world talking when it came to the land of professional wrestling. But in overall, things are looking up for 2025 as Hangman's looking to go for World Championship gold. More importantly, we shall see where he hangs up as he get ready to go for the match with Swerve again once they cleared their ways up. But right now, it looks like they're separating them, kind of keeping the pace of things, kind of keep things calm, cool, and collective. They're going to revisit it as they have round 4 when it comes to Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. Then we get ready for the women's division. We get ready for a decent one for the AEW Women's World Championship. We have Mariah May. She's in singles action, the champion, taking on Willow Nightingale. These ladies entertained me 100%. They put on a clinic. They was smash mouth doing their thing tonight. What more can you could have asked for Willow? Willow always your go-to girl who can put on any body over and pretty much work the crowd. More importantly, she's a big time fan favorite. Mariah May, she's finding her niche as well, as she's been racking up the wins as well. I believe this is her third title defense. She's doing her thing as she's gearing up to get ready either for Mina, which will probably be her next challenge, or Tony Storm making her return to get things underway when it comes to that situation. But more importantly, these ladies, when it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of technical wrestling, these ladies put on a clinic, and it was great wrestling. This was the land of when the women stepping up to the plate and giving us what we really want to see. We want to see real, actual wrestling from the women's division. But they went a lot of back and forth and caught off with a victory roll. And then, of course, Willow got blasted with a kick to the face, followed up with a fireman's carry. Then things really took in a gear after an avalanche Frankensteiner, followed with a flash knee. And then Mariah May was able to hit that Storm Zero to secure the victory for the 1, 2, 3. Mariah May continues to keep the momentum moving smoothly as she continues to rack up the wins. But when it comes to no other than Willow Nightingale, I'll give her props. She ain't keep her chin up. You got more opportunities when it comes to becoming the AEW Women's Champion. But more importantly, she did her thing. She did her job as possible. I'll see they're going to keep the belt on Mariah May for a little bit longer, all the way to 2025. But in overall, that my personal rating when it comes to this actual match, it was a 3.8 out of 5 stars. And these ladies did a great job, 100%. Get ready for the TNT Championship. The scapegoat, Jack Perry, in a singles hard-hitting match against Kazuri Shibata. These boys put on a clinic. What more can you truly ask for when it came to Shibata and Perry? These boys put on a clinic. It was a lot of back and forth. More importantly, Perry was getting the heat when it came to the night. The crowd was really booing him out the building. But more importantly, Jack Perry held his own through the course of everything that was going on. He was able to pick up the pinfall after he hit the counter and sleeper hold into a pin, and then he retained his AEW TNT Championship. Post-match, Jack Perry attacked Shibata by beating him down, but Daniel Garcia came down to assist everything. Of course, Jack Perry ended up running away. That's setting up a new feud when it comes to the TNT Championship, as we're going to have Daniel Garcia stepping up to the plate to take on Jack Perry. But things really picked up as MJF also made his return as well. And Max takes off his actual jacket. Things really get underway as he took off his button-up shirt. And then he checks and then blasts Daniel Garcia through the course of the match. After the post-match, he gets on a microphone, he talks, he jabs about how he's been away into movies, and then he proceeded to put the beat down more on Daniel Garcia afterwards. Then he proceeded to talk about how Daniel Garcia had pawned his ring, but he went through all links to find it in Buffalo, and he was able to retrieve it. He pulled the AEW Dynamite ring directly out. He's just about to get ready to nail Daniel Garcia. Then things really picked up big time when we ended up having a return of no other than Adam Cole. Adam Cole came out. He would MJF decided to mock him like he was still injured and everything like that. But things really picked up 100% when Adam Cole ran directly down there to help Daniel Garcia, and MJF went scary, and like most heels do, things picked up very quickly as it shows sign respect between Daniel Garcia and Adam Cole as they fist pump each other to clear that actual segment. But it was really good to see Adam Cole, MJF, and Daniel Garcia make his actual return to AEW, as well as if you haven't been in the loop, Daniel Garcia is staying with AEW. He's betting all his chips, and he's staying with All Elite Wrestling after things was rumored that he was going to be leaving, but things are looking up 100%. If you can hear me in the chat, feel free to put a 1 in the chat to let me know that everything's running smoothly with the audio. and there's no delay, and everything is looking all good, 100% for this live. But I appreciate you guys coming through, showing your love and support. Then we get ready for the AEW International three-way for the AEW International Championship. We got Takesha, Ricochet, and Will Ospreay. These boys put on a clinic. Great chemistry through the course of this triple threat match. It was everything that you really wanted when it came to the overall performance between Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takesha. These boys were throwing bombs, suplexes, technical wrestling, high spots. They were able to get off their signatures. More importantly, the fans were chanting this was awesome through the course of the actual match. Everything about this match lived up to its hype. More importantly, I'm probably going to rewatch it again because how highly invested I was into this actual triple threat match. The course of the match came to an end as Takesha was able to pick up the victory by hitting that lovely lariat press and became the new AEW International Champion. Things picked up very quickly post-match. Fletcher pulls Ospreay in, unhooks him, and then hits the Tiger Driver 91, which comes to a point that the Don Callis family has officially turned on Will Ospreay, and they're siding with no other than Takesha, and our crew is doing their own thing. But in overall, it's going to be looking good as we get Will Ospreay looking to get their rematch against Takesha, and now he's going to be feuding with the Don Callis family. But the Don Callis family took advantage of this situation of this triple threat match. More importantly, they took out Will Ospreay after he turned his back on the family. But I thought it was going to be better when it came to the whole overall situation. I thought Cal Fletcher was going to have Will Ospreay's back after we had the United Empire making his actual return as a faction. But we got the opposite of that. We end up seeing now Will Ospreay's on his own, and he's going to battle. He's going to be going to war against the Don Callis family. Hopefully he has some backup, maybe the camaraderie, or maybe some other talent looking to step up to help Will Ospreay go to battle when it comes to the Don Callis family. But in overall, I'll give this match out of 5 stars, 100%. What more could you could have asked for in this match? This match truly delivered 100%. I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer would probably give it a 5-star, but from my own personal opinion, it was a 5-star match. It delivered. It had everything that was going for it. It was lacking a little bit of the storytelling of why this match needed to happen, but more importantly, it delivered. Everybody did their high spots. Everything was on par, and you couldn't ask for anything better in this triple threat match. Then we get to Renee Paquette. She's backstage. She's doing an interview. She's talking to Jerry Lynn, who has a special message for Orange Cassidy. Jerry Lynn tells Orange Cassidy that his whole entire career, he never seen a guy like Orange Cassidy. More importantly, he says that he believes that he is really wanted to, but he's tried and he could be the man 100%. Hook rolls up and tells Orange Cassidy that Jerry Lynn is right and Cassidy is left in his thoughts on the whole situation. Then we also have Prince Nana, who's in the ring to sell his coffee and get everybody hyped up for the official return of Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland was in good shape and more importantly looking in good health, and he was looking happy to be returning back to AEW. The whole entire overall of this promo, it was good. What more could you got from it? You couldn't get anything else to turn. I know most people were looking to see Bobby Lashley make his debut during this promo, but in due time, it's pending. It's coming along as Bobby Lashley will be officially be making his debut pretty soon when it comes to just the overall of being in AEW. But in overall, getting into everything that Swerve had to see, based on my opinion, he said he admit that he feels weird about being out here without the title around his waist. But he's happy to be home. He's giving us a medical update, and he admits he's feeling a little wonky. More importantly, he's feeling a little tingling in his back. Sometimes his fingers, like everything else is said about Bryan Danielson, is coming back to him. But being said, he is medically cleared and want to come out here and address his hometown people and tell them about the past, the present, and the future. Before he got into more details of talking about what he was going to express, MVP interrupts him by clearing his throat. This is the future wrongful he has with him. Sheldon Benjamin comes down as well. MVP says he wants to discuss Swerve's future with him and says Nana must not given him his card because he hadn't answered any of his calls, emails, or DMs. So he assumes Strickland must be in deep consultation about his future. More importantly, he says he goes way back and believes Shane before he believed in himself. But Swerve's career has floundered, and one of the things MVP has shown a talent for is helping champions climb that mountain again and again. But he wants to talk about some business here and now. Shane starts with greeting and says that he's gave him great advice in 2017. More importantly, he talks about the matches and Defy and says that he learned a lot that night when he carries to him to this day. He's seen MVP ascend to great stars above superstardom, just like Sheldon Benjamin, who was a big inspiration when he was 12 years old and will be crying when he sees Sheldon in his presence. He said that Sheldon Benjamin paved the way for black wrestlers to be involved in the ring and has been watching them the last couple of years and as well as the last couple of weeks. And the things MVP has been saying aren't wrong. The last couple months he haven't been good for them, but he can't even remember the cage match because he got knocked senseless. Under Prince Nana's match, he lost the main event, his childhood home, and his title. On the other hand, he wouldn't have had all those things if it wasn't for Nana. But on the other hand, MVP says he really goes way back, and the potential is what they could do. They could make some history. Strickland likes having more power than anybody, with MVP and Sheldon backing him up. But he says there's a lot of things that irk him about Nana sometimes. But he says wages goes up, and Nana's still selling weeds to high school kids. And more importantly, sometimes he can find him in the back before going out. And the number one thing about him is that he is family. And he doesn't turn his back on family for anybody. I honestly agree that you never turn your back on family and you always be there for them. MVP says you can take your business. He tells MVP you can take your business cards and shove them up his ass because he's not interested in that there tonight at Swerve's house. Sheldon steps up to him and says he misread the situation and they weren't telling him, nor were they asking. It's straight a promise. Things really broke down. Then they got into a shove match, and things really broke down afterwards with a brawl. MP holds the guys back. Chris Daniels brings the referee into the ring. MVP stops at the mouth before heading up the tunnel to glance at Swerve and taps his watch. Says, "Due time. We know the big man's coming." No other than Bobby Lashley. Swerve and Nana embrace in the center of the ring. The center crowd happy, and then they head directly over to the back. And overall, the segment was calm, cool, and collective. Nothing was on turn. More importantly, I enjoyed everything about that actual segment. What more can you ask for? Then we get ready for the 2 out of 3 falls match between Beast Mortis and Hologram. These boys put on a clinic, and this match was a lot of back and forth when it came to the Lucha Libre style. But more importantly, Mortis held his own. Hologram continues to be the golden boy for Tony Khan. But in overall, it was a lot of back and forth. It got down to a 1-1 tie when it came down to to overtime. Then things broke down afterwards when Hologram was able to get the final pinfall with the Revolution Powerbomb to secure the victory for the 1-2-3. And overall, that match delivered. It was a decent Spanish Lucha Libre style match. More importantly, it kept me invested and kept me in a course of how things were running smoothly. And I'll give this match a 3.8 out of 5 stars. It did its justice with the high spots. More importantly, the technical wrestling. It was speed versus power, but it did its thing to keep us entertained. But then we get the David and Goliath match. Big Brody King versus Darby Allin. Man, Darby Allin took a pounding in this match. Everything that he basically took, from the steel steps to the botch spots, everything. Brody King put everything that he possibly could into this match. It was so much that went on through the course of this match. I don't even know how Darby was still on his feet. He fought off, of course, was able to hit a coffin drop on the steel steps dangerously back into the inside. Darby went and then on top of that was able to secure the victory with the coffin drop and hit the 1-2-3. Afterwards, Darby and Brody King comes to a respect matter after Big Brody King gets on his feet, and they have a respectful handshake, which is respect as respect and sportsmanship. But in overall, it was 5-star. It was on like neck bones. It did its thing, and they have great chemistry 100%. But in overall, I had such a great time enjoying that match as well. I'll give that match a 4 out of 5 stars. Darby and Brody put on a great match to entertain us. Darby putting his body on the line. I think he's ready to become a man. I think he's past Orange Cassidy at this point. Just go ahead and strap a rocket to his back and give him the World Heavyweight Championship at this point. Then we get ready for the Tag Team Championship match. Private Party taking on the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, for the AEW Tag Team Championship. It was a lot of back and forth. This match had everybody on their feet. It was a lot of very close near falls. Moves were going back and forth. The EVPs had to hit their moves multiple times, but they was able to secure the victory and make the clean slate with the TK driver and secure the victory over the Private Party. And overall, Private Party had a brand new entrance. It was dope, 100%. And I think they need to go ahead and keep that entrance for them. And I think it's time for the EVPs to drop the championship, 100%. I feel like there's nothing else left for them to do. It's getting stale at this point when it comes to the EVPs. They've done everything they possibly can. Just play the EVP role, help out with creative, and just take a back seat and give the new boys a chance for the Tag Team Championship. Post-match Stokely halfway was laughing at himself about Private Party's failures. More importantly, just upset because he had talked to them about aligning stuff with them. As well as other tag teams that was there was Top Flight. And things are shaping up when it comes to the tag team division. But the EVPs continue to be victorious and retain the Tag Team Championship. And overall, was a lot of great near falls, a lot of high spots. Everybody was chanting this is awesome. And more importantly, it kept me highly invested. But in overall, I'll give this rating maybe a 4.1 out of 5 stars. It was solid. Great tag team wrestling. Great chemistry. They always had great chemistry since the beginning of episode 2 of AEW, where they first started off the land of AEW getting to where it is now. Private Party continues to grow on us, and it's about time for them to finally get that spotlight. And I think they're ready for the tag team division. When they first started off, they were still figuring things out when they started off from Brooklyn, New York, in the New York district. And now they became into their own, become 100% great talent. Then we get ready for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Mark Briscoe, the champion, taking on the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. This match was okay for the what it was. We had the Learning Tree being involved, of course, in the course of this match. a lot of back and forth. Jericho could have secured the victory, but he got cocky. And of course, no other than Mark Briscoe got red hot, was able to get the hot streak going, and was able to secure the victory, not only with the Froggy Bow, but as well with the Jay Driller to secure the victory for the 1-2-3 to retain the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. I enjoyed everything about it. It was everything that you truly could have asked for, and it was a lot of back and forth between these two. It was the right call for Mark Briscoe to retain the championship until they're ready for him to hit the next level in the AEW division. But right now, he's doing his thing right now in Ring of Honor and continue to rack up the wins and doing a phenomenal job as the champion. But we shall see how things pick up or where Jericho go from here. I think it's time for him to drop the learning tree, go into his next phase, because the learning tree is just getting stale and boring. It is not interesting whatsoever. But overall, when it comes to Jericho, he's A1 and 100%. He doesn't need to retire. Just the gimmick's not working, from my personal opinion. Then we get ready for the main event of the night. As Mark Henry put it, the main event. Jon Moxley challenging the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. What more can you get out of this match? Everything. This match was hard hitting. You got kicks. You got fists. Was this truly the final countdown? It truly was the final countdown when it came to the career of Bryan Danielson being a full-time performer. But more importantly, a lot was left unturned. Danielson went out like a true king. My hat's off to you, as you really did your thing in this match and you really left everything unturned. What more can you ask for Jon Moxley? He's always going to be the man that truly steps up, and he was the true man last year in 2023, stepping up to the plate after all the fiasco that happened with CM Punk before he left. And he took the backpack and the rocket and pretty much skyrocket to do his thing. There's nothing more left you can ask when it comes to Jon Moxley. He does his part, and he truly does his thing 100%. But this match went everything from left to right. It left you not to miss anything when it came to this match. Things really broke down afterwards, after Jon Moxley was able to secure the victory with a chokehold and Bryan Danielson passed out, and that ended the final countdown when it came to Bryan Danielson. Afterwards, things broke down as we had the BCC come down. All members, Pac, Claudio, Marina Shafir, along with Willa Yuya, and things really broke down afterwards. Willer came a little bit later, but Darby Allin came down after things was going to break down, and they were actually going to put a plastic bag over Bryan Danielson's neck again to really take him out. But things really picked up into high gear after things really took a heinous turn with everything that had occurred. Things really focused on Bryan Danielson's neck after everything broke down. They wedged a chair in his neck, stomped on it. Darby Allin came down as well. Willa Yuta turned on him after Willa Yuta came down. Willa Yuta put the plastic bag over Bryan Danielson's neck, choked him out. Staff was coming in. They were getting taken out left and right. And symbolically, they put the AEW World Championship in a black bag. I'm not sure what that is about, but a lot of people thought Shane McMahon was going to make his debut, but he's coming. He's going to be a part of that new group, saying there's a new regime. I wonder what they're going to do with the championship. It's going to be a brand new championship. It's going to be something different. It's going to be a hostile takeover. We shall see. Afterwards, Jeff Jarrett came down as well. He got busted open across his eyebrow. Other talent came down as well. They got taken out. But when things got real nasty afterwards, after they took out Bryan Danielson, they smashed his neck wedge in between the chair. That's when all the talent ran out. The BCC left the ring. It left a sour note. Everybody was sad. Darby Allin was taped against the ropes, and they was about to take him out too. It got really, really nasty. But in overall, it left things with a great storytelling, 100%. But in overall, this match was decent for what it was, and I enjoyed everything about it. We got two Driller coming through here. What's good, champ? Appreciate you coming through for this extra live. Hopefully, everything is all running smoothly with your night, and you are doing your thing and having a great weekend. And hopefully, you were able to catch WrestleDream. It was 100% a great show with the overall of how things were picking up. And overall, the match was decent. It was a 4.2 out of 5 stars, but it delivered. But the ending was really what took things to a next gear. What's the next steps? Shane McMahon coming to be a part of AEW in a new revolution. I don't know what happens in the situation with the EVPs. Are they going to line back with Tony Khan? Or are they going to join the BCC with this whole revolution? I know the Elite was trying to be a whole new revolution, but things got flipped upside down with another regime with the BCC taking over everything. But it shall be highly interesting to see how things may unfold through the course of AEW this following Wednesday. More importantly, what other great news with the Max deal officially now underway, with now all AEW pay-per-views will be available on Max in 2025. But I think they're going to have it at a discounted rate. You're still going to pay the high mighty dollar, but they're going to discount it for the Max viewers. And then for the people that still like to pay the pay-per-views, you're still going to pay that original $50 or wherever the price may be to be refreshed into 2025. But we got a lot of people that are returning into AEW in the near future. We have talent finally getting showcased, but more importantly, the storylines are now picking up. We have Dijak most likely making his debut this following Wednesday. When it comes to the injury reports and everything, Keith Lee still is not medically cleared. He's having health complications. Don't know what's going on when it comes to Keith Lee. When it comes to Miro's actually 100% cleared. There's nothing on a timetable of what they got going on for him. When it comes to Ricky Starks, he's medically cleared as well. There's nothing on the tables right now creatively for him at the moment as well. And everything else is looking good when it comes to AEW in general. I know a lot of people were trying to figure out what's going on with the ratings war and all that. The ratings really don't matter at this point. I feel like a lot of WWE fans made the switch to watch the product when AEW first started because WWE was really bad. Once things made the shift when it came to Triple H taking over and they got better with the creative, then the WWE loyalists just went back to their product. That's what they were used to. But AEW is slowly still growing, still having their product. I think that's where they are currently right now with their market. The only way they're going to get better is they have to continue to go in different new cities. But I'm not sure if WWE has a cap on that when they sign a deal when it comes to contracts with the stadiums or arenas. Do they kick AEW out? AEW can't go to those arenas or go into those certain arenas that AEW wants to try to go to. But maybe AEW might change it up when it comes to 2025 as they got the new Fox deal coming along the lines of Fox Sports. I know Swerve had leaked it out, but they're going to be on Fox Sports and most likely will be in at 8 p.m. Spot hour when it comes to the new channel. And Rampage is getting canceled. Unfortunately, that is the news that's going on with the new Warner Brothers Discovery deal, is that they're focusing more on shows when it comes to the Max content. You're going to get new shows on the Max content, and that's going to get them a little bit more viewership. Rampage has been lackluster and is feel like a dummied down version of Ring of Honor, but worse. But a lot of people aren't watching Rampage. Collision needs to step it up too. I don't know if Tony needs to just focus on Dynamite and give somebody else the rings with Collision, but Collision hasn't been watchable neither. Even though you have some of the talent that's there on Collision, but they need to step it up. And I want to see a brand split. I know a lot of people think a brand split is needed, but it's so many talents just sitting there and catering. It's not enough time in the hour for all of them to be able to be showcased unless you make a brand split, even with the championships, and have the world champion be able to flop between both shows, not even including Shockwave, which hopefully Shockwave's not dummy down, but it's supposed to be a 1 hour show as well. It hasn't been talked about 2 hours, but it's going to be 1 hour when it comes to the Fox deal was Shockwave. But I'd like to know from you guys' personal opinion how you guys are feeling about everything that's shaping up with AEW. What talent are you looking forward to seeing? Is there somebody that you want to see from catering make a return? Is there some dream matches you would like to see things come to information? But more importantly, from my personal opinion, it's looking good so far. It's just that a lot of people are just drowning out AEW, but AEW's doing its own thing. But that's what I think they need to focus on, is working on the marketing a little bit better and focus on storylines and be the alternative. It doesn't have to be WWE. 100% WWE is WWE, but AEW needs to be the alternative where talent can do their thing and entertain us. It doesn't need to straight be boring like NWA or any other programming that's just available like TNA Impact, which is okay. It's mid at best, but it gets the job. I feel like they're just filling in story time, but they have great wrestling when it comes to TNA. But in overall, I appreciate you guys coming through and showing love and support. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you be in the know of whenever and wherever I drop a new video for this actual channel. More importantly, I appreciate you guys coming through for this live edition. I'll catch you guys on the next one.